Joining me tonight for tonight's live. So today was the release of the puff stitch stocking. I'm just going to wait here for everyone to start joining me. But today is the release of our fourth pattern. So I'm super excited that we're more than halfway through the crochet along now. Just pop on and say hi. Let me know where you're from. So if you aren't sure what's going on, I currently have a crochet along running. It started November 10th and it runs through to November 30th. And Mondays and Thursdays, a new pattern is released to fill your advent calendar. So today was the release of the little puff stitch stocking. So this is the fourth pattern. I'll just show you the other patterns that we've already done. So the first one was our little textured mitten. Then we did our little textured stocking. So you've already made stockings. So this is going to be not too tricky to get the hang of. And we did our puff stitch mitten. So you've already had some practice with working that puff stitch. And then today is the puff stitch stocking. So we still have to come our little stripe mitten and our little stripe stocking. So those ones are coming next week. But this week is the puff stitch. So let me know if you've started the puff stitch stocking, how the puff stitch mitten went. If you like the puff stitch, I definitely want to hear from you on how that's going. So tonight is a Q&A, so you can ask questions. I'm here to help you out. Other people are joining us, so other people can comment as well. But let me know any of your questions. If you need any help with anything, I'm here to work through that with you tonight, and we'll just chat and enjoy some time together to see how the crochet along's going. Now, there are some finished advent calendars popping up in the group already. So if you haven't joined the Facebook group yet, make sure to go over and join the group so you can see what everybody is making, all of their color choices, what they're deciding to use to display their advent calendar. So we've seen some garlands, we've seen some finished trees, people have used dowels, other people have made theirs with sticks. So lots of fun ideas. So let us know. Emma's going to be joining me here in a minute, but let us know what you're making, what you've decided. Another option would be to use an old frame, and you could just string some twine across and display your advent calendar that way as well. So we have lots of people coming in and joining us tonight already. So I should be streaming here on my YouTube channel, on my Facebook page, and also in the Facebook community. So I'm just going to go through and start seeing where everybody's from. And I'm glad you could join us tonight. I'm feeling tired. It's been a long day already. And Emma's joining us now. She's brought her crochet with her tonight. So you definitely need to let us know if you're working on the advent calendar, if you have other whips on the go. So that's a good question. You can pop in the comments the answer to how many whips you currently have, how many work in progresses you currently have on the go. How many do you have, Emma?
3.
Emma has 3.
4, actually.
Oh, 4. 4 now. She has 4. So let us know how many whips you have. I'm sure if you're working on all of the stockings, you could have quite a few going right now. So Kitty says, hi, I'm enjoying these cute little mittens and stockings. Thank you. It has been so fun. I've been having so much fun just seeing everybody's finished mittens and stockings in the group. It has been great. Everybody has been amazing to post all of their pictures. Thank you so much for posting and engaging in the group, because it's so fun to see what everybody's doing. Okay, so someone here has said that they made 3 today on my last one and finally figured out to do the puff in the space and not in the chain itself. Great. So yeah, that's good that you were able to get that. It's much easier when you're just working into the space than working into the actual chain. Yeah. I don't know if Emma ever really got the hang of the puff stitch. I don't know if she wanted to talk about it. I don't think she wanted to talk about it.
No.
I think she thinks it's too tiny. It is hard. I think if you're a beginner and you're new to the stitch, just working with something so small can be a little bit tricky. But you know what? If you find the puff stitch too tricky and you just decide to make up the difference with some of the other designs, then go ahead and do that.
I couldn't get like the stitches to stay like consistent. They were like big, small, weird loops.
You have to make sure that you pull through the right amount of loops every time. You had to do it 4 times, right?
Yeah.
Yarn over, pull up a loop 4 times, and then pull through 9 loops on the hook. I know it is tricky. It is tricky to get the hang of. Sandy says, I am so happy I've done all 4 of the puff stitch stocking. That's amazing because we just released it now. I will mention that you can purchase the ebook that includes all 6 patterns. You don't have to wait for the next 2 to be released. And if you want that printable digital PDF, you can purchase the ebook. And right now I do have a Black Friday sale going on. So you can save 20% off on Etsy. No coupon needed. If you go to my Etsy shop, you're getting 20% off. And if you go to Ravelry, if you prefer Ravelry, you can use code CYBER20 and you can get 20% off that. You get 20% off all my patterns right now for my Black Friday sale. So you can check out Etsy and Ravelry, and the sale is on, I believe I set it up on Ribbler too. Now I'm second guessing myself. I'm pretty sure it's set up on Ribbler too, 20% off, and no coupon needed on Ribbler. So let's keep going through and see everyone who's joining us tonight. Jennifer from Phoenix, Arizona. Sorry, I missed the first 3 stitch alongside the first 3. Oh, probably the first 3 patterns. That's okay. Joining in at any time. I'd actually love to be visiting Arizona right now. It's gotten really cold here, isn't it, Emma?
Yeah.
Winter is here. Winter has come to Ontario. So it is feeling Christmassy here, that's for sure. I know Christmas is going to just come so quick. I can't believe it's the 21st already. So only a month, and a few days till Christmas. So I need to start my shopping and get going at Christmas gifts. Okay, the puff stitch is a wonderful stitch. They are most certainly my favorite thus far. Yes, they are so cute. Once you get the hang of it, I think it's easy once you get always I think things are easy, but it is once you get the hang of it.
Yeah.
And I know Emma's been doing a lot of testing out different hooks this week. So she's been working with different hooks to kind of find the right hook that works good. So how are you enjoying the Odyssey? Let's hear her take on the Furls Odyssey.
It's like, I don't know how to explain it. I find it's like a heavier hook, so it feels like with this blanket or pillow that I'm making, it like glides on the hook really well with this yarn.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
It does.
I'm enjoying it. I didn't think that I would like it because I didn't like the style hooks like that before. But I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I was surprised too. I wasn't sure if I would originally like it, and I did find the hook heavy at first when I started using the Odyssey hooks. You can hold it up, Emma, so people can see it. She's using my really pretty, I think the mint one she has, which is really nice. So yeah, she is enjoying that. So let's keep going through the comments because I'm really curious to see how many whips people have. And so let's see here. I finished 12 and I'm making the new model now. Amazing. Yeah, everybody is just working away. And really, if you are just joining now, you can definitely still get this done by Christmas because people have really whipped these out really, really quickly. So I think that if you're ambitious, you could make them all still in time for December 1st. So let's see. I do not have red DK in my stash, so I'm using a nice soft sage color. That would be beautiful too. Okay, Janet's from Alberta, Canada joining us. We have Texas, we have Tennessee, Ohio, lots of places here. And I have Leanne joining us from Florida. Yay. And Sandy says, nice to see you, Emma. Okay, so we're starting to get into whips. Okay, so too many to count. Yeah, I have to sit and figure out how many I have on the go right now. I'm curious to figure this out as well. A lot, 6, but not the advent yet. Yep, so you're going to have to switch over and start making stockings and mittens. That's for sure. So 6 seems to be popular. We have another one here that has 6 whips. I have too many whips to count. It's almost embarrassing. Oh, that's funny. Well, we do get excited with new yarn and new projects, don't we? It's always that dopamine hit, you know, we get when we start a new project, and then sometimes we lose steam. I hope that you can keep up with the crochet along. I know it's, you know, the first one's always really fun to make, but then the fact that you have to make 3 more, but at least they're quick. But yeah, I find always with mittens, even when I'm making the larger ones, I get one made and then I really don't want to make the second one, but you know, we need to make a pair. Yeah, and I'm not sure if I showed Leanne's comment. She had said that she probably has about 10. Yeah. Okay, so what are WIPs? So WIP stands for work in progress. So yeah, I think Emma, you had that question too at first. You were like, what's WIPs?
I was like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Yeah. Once you know what they stand for, all of the crochet fun little abbreviations. HOTH is hot off the hook. So that's another one you'll see quite often. Emma's like going, I never heard that one before. Oh. HOTH, hot off the hook. Yeah.
I've seen it, but I've never known what it's meant.
Yeah, and frog, but that one's more because we rip it out. So yeah, there's lots of fun. Emma's gonna get to know all of those. Yes. So I'm gonna keep scrolling through. Lola Bean, what was it? Lola Bean's creative design. She loves the puff stitch. Yeah, it's such a fun stitch. Okay, and I have a new person here, first time here. Welcome to the group. So if you have any questions tonight, this is the time to ask them. So any questions about the crochet along, any questions about any of the patterns, make sure to pop them in the comments, and we'll scroll through them as we're chatting here. So Emma also needs to show you what she's working on. I think her mittens and stockings are in her whip pile. I think they're
yes,
over.
They are.
They're in the whip pile, and she's got a new obsession. So show them what you're working on, Emma. So Emma has learned Mosaic crochet, and she's hooked. She's obsessed now with it. She thought it was going to be confusing. Let's just show them the chart. So when she saw the chart, she was like, oh no, like this is so confusing. And I told her, no, Emma, just go watch the YouTube video. Go watch the tutorial. It's so much easier than you think. And it is, right, Emma?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
it's really quick and easy.
It's really quick and easy. Yeah. So she is working on one of the pillows. She's working on the Surfside Mosaic pillow because she thought that would be a good project to start with. And also the back panel. Now you could do both panels in Mosaic, but Emma made the back panel just in single crochet. And now she's working on the front panel. So she's going to be worked through this actually really quickly.
I think I'm actually going to finish it.
Yeah, so show them what the back looks like. If you haven't done Mosaic crochet, Emma is doing overlay Mosaic crochet. So we have all these tails, but she's going to hide these. These are all going to get hidden inside the pillow. So you don't have to weave any of these tails in. They're all going to be hidden. So the overlay Mosaic crochet technique, she is working out it all from the right side. So you work across, you cut, I'm losing my voice, you cut your yarn at the end. And so it's all worked on that right side of your work. So in some ways, you know, you may feel like it's a nuisance you're cutting, but it actually works up really quickly, and you can make this beautiful pattern without having to carry yarn and weave tail. So it's quite fun. Yeah. So Emma's enjoying that. So let's get back to the questions here. Okay, so let's see. Just a question about yarn volume. I'm a bit behind and almost ready to start the puff mitten. I've only made 3 of each pattern, thinking that if I'm short at the end, I can determine what colors to make the 4th if I'm short yarn. I only purchased 1 of, okay, this doesn't want to show me the entire. 1 of each skein. Is there a lot of yarn left over? Okay, there's not. I used more of my buff and my cream than I did red. So I had quite a bit more red left over than I did the other colors. I kind of, what I would do, I would sort of alternate. So if I had done my 4th in buff for one, then I might do the 4th in cream for another, and then the 4th in red in one. So just kind of mix and match them that way. You should have enough to get through. But at the end, if you only have one of your colors left, then yeah, just work more with that color. But there wasn't tons left over, but there was still a little bit of each. And I did make some extras. So I had some extras in there with the amounts that I used. So I figured everybody would be good with just purchasing the 3 balls. Afterwards, I kind of thought with it there being 4, maybe I should have done 4 colors, but there wasn't another color that I had that I just was like, oh, I really wanted to add that color. So I really just went with these 3 colors that I had in my, that I'd ordered. I'd ordered a few different colors, but those are just the ones that really spoke to me. So let's keep going. Okay, it's freezing in Arizona to you. So I wonder what their freezing is. How cold? Do you know what the temperature's been, Emma? I just know like the wind and everything. It's freezing when you open the door.
The other day it felt like -13.
-13.
But I think right now it's -6.
-6. So, and I know that's Celsius.
Curious.
We don't do Fahrenheit in Canada. So we're Celsius.
No, it's actually 2.
Oh,
it feels like -2.
Feels like -2?
Snow.
Okay,
yeah.
so it's 2 feels like -2 right now.
Because walking over it wasn't that cold. It was cold, but.
Yeah, so Leanne, the Odyssey is her favorite, and it definitely is a favorite of most people, like really love, and usually they sell out. Like the Odysseys are very popular and they do sell out really quick, which can be frustrating. I know they have had supply chain issues like most places have since COVID, and they are so popular that usually you want to check if they're releasing a new one and then all the sizes come in, and then hop on that really quickly when they release a new color. And I'm sure a lot is sold out right now because the Black Friday sale was on. So probably a lot of people have bought those up. But, yep. So she has 6 furls hooks. Yeah. Once you get a few, then you have to get one in every size. Emma's going to want them all now.
Yes.
She's going to want a set of Odyssey hooks next. They have some really nice colors too. Have you looked at all the colors?
No.
No.
I didn't look at the Odyssey ones, but they are very nice now that I've crocheted with one.
Okay, so another Facebook user says, I finally got my yarn, so I started the stocking this morning. Perfect. So if you work quickly, you should still be able to get them all complete. But if not, you could even make these if you don't think you can complete all 24 in time, using them as little gift, like adding them to your gifts with whatever you want to add in there for family and friends, or put them on your tree as ornaments. They're so cute hanging from the tree as well. So even if you don't make the advent calendar, you're going to enjoy making all of these little ornaments. So let's see here. There's more comments. My goal is to make 2 calendars by the end of the month. It is not unreasonable as these minis work up so quickly. That's right. They do, Kitty. They work up really quick. And I have noticed a lot of people posting in the group that they're making multiples and they're giving them as gifts, which is such a great idea. So again, I want to say, go join the Facebook group. If you're not in the Facebook group, go join, because you can get so many ideas and people are sharing, you know, I know things were selling out, of course, really quickly. The numbers, the trees, we were adding different links, but I think probably at this point, I mean, a lot of people, I think we have almost 4,500 people signed up for the crochet along. So stuff will sell out really quickly, but people have been posting their other ideas, what they've picked up at the dollar store, or different ideas for their numbers. So if you go to the group, then you can see what other people are doing, what other fun ideas they've come up with to make. And one of them that was really pretty that I just saw this afternoon, someone had used the beaded garland to hang all of their little stockings, which was so cute. And someone else, again, I don't even want to count. I know, I'm trying to even think. I have a lot of abandoned whips. I did, yes, a lot of abandoned whips. I am working on, there's a lot of things too. I'm kind of, because I'm in the design process as well, I've worked on, I did complete a couple quick projects last week, but I still have to get the patterns together. So I still may end up making another project or two with those patterns. Then I have stuff I'm working on way in advance as well. So I've got all these little started projects, everything in my head that I want to work on. I think I told you guys last week, I have a men's sweater that's coming out. So I'm working on, it's a side across pattern. It's all wrinkled because I've had it shoved in my bag. So it's side across, and I'm working on the size 4 right now. And I think I'm going to have to make potentially a size 1 for the video tutorial because I just haven't been able to film the steps. And that's what is tough when I'm filming tutorials and making stuff. I can't always film, I want to work on something and I can't film it. So I think I'm going to have to end up making another size for the actual tutorial. So, but that's okay. A size 1 will work up really quickly. So that's one project that I have to get working on tonight too. Okay, so Kathy only has 2. So that's the crunch is on for gifts. Yep, so that's good. Only 2. That's a good workable number. Okay. And Leanne works on a different whip every day. Yeah, I can sometimes get bored and I want to switch around too, but then if I get too many things on at the same time, then I start forgetting stuff. So I try to definitely block things out designing anyways that I don't get. Em and I were working on a new pattern today, and I was like, I just have to finish it because if I get started into something else, I'm going to forget stuff. I'm going to forget when I go back. Just so much on the go. So let's maybe just stop again and just kind of say why we're here tonight. This is a live Q&A. So give me your questions. We're talking about our Advent calendar crochet along. We're on to the 4th pattern. So today I released the puff stitch mitten. It's on the blog. You can view that for free, or you can go to YouTube, watch the video tutorial, or you can purchase the ebook with all of the patterns, and it's 20% off right now for Black Friday. So my Etsy shop, you don't need a coupon. You can just go. Everything's 20% off. And Ravelry, the coupon code is Cyber20. So you can get 20% off everything right now. And that sale is going to go all the way to November 30th. So you still have a bit of time that'll be my big before Christmas sale. So you can go and grab all the patterns that you're thinking of, even if you want to gift patterns to people you may know that crochet. It would be a great gift for people they've been eyeing up some of my patterns. Okay, someone else from Arizona. I'm just going to keep scrolling down. Lots of comments to go through. So make sure if you have any questions about any of the patterns, anything about the crochet along, and even if it's not the crochet along related, we're here to answer questions. It's really fun having my daughter Emma, joining me, and her just being a beginner and working through my patterns. And she's going to be able to help me probably even design my patterns even better, because she's going to start finding all the things like, Mom, you should change this. You should do this different. So Right?
Yeah.
Brutally, your child will always be brutally honest with you. So, yeah. Okay. 2 whips, 1 blanket. I keep ripping out. So I'm not fond of the color of the yarn and not feeling the love for this project. Yeah, that's tough. And then it's to put all the work. I know I find with myself, if I'm really not loving it, I end up it just goes in the forgotten pile. And then when I can, I'll rip it out and reuse obviously the yarn if I can. But yeah, if you're not really loving the color, you're not really loving the project, it's just not worth spending all of those hours and time unless you're really enjoying the process and those colors. And I know it happens to me all the time, especially with designing. For me, I'll like think something's going to work or think something's going to come together, and then I'm just not feeling it. So it gets thrown to the side. And yeah, I think this a new hat pattern I have coming out, it went through a bit of a process to get where it is, but I think I'm really happy with the finished product now. So sometimes it just takes that little extra to get it just right, get just the right yarn, all those details. Okay, so I'm just going to keep going through. Knit, Purl, and Squirrel with Granny D from North Carolina. Everyone's happy to see you again, Emma. And they're also liking your pretty work. Yes, it looks absolutely beautiful. Just show everybody again, just in case we have new people joining us. Emma's Mosaic pattern. She's working on the Surfside Mosaic pillow. This pattern is it is a paid pattern. I don't believe this one's free on the blog, but the video tutorial on YouTube is free. So the video is there that you can watch. When you get the PDF, you'll get your large chart that you can work from, which I find the easiest. I think Emma's working from the chart. Like, I find that better than the written pattern. The written pattern is included, but the chart is, once you understand how to read the chart, it really is, I find it the easiest to work from anyways. We all have our preferences though. Okay, yeah, so she is yet to try the Mosaic, but it is very addictive for sure. Emma's gonna love, I'm gonna keep passing off Mosaic projects on her.
Yeah, I like it. It's a lot of fun.
Yes, I have another Mosaic cardigan in the works, one that I'm extremely excited about. The pattern is going to be amazing. And I want to make some new blanket patterns in Mosaic too. So
that'll be next on my list, a blanket.
A blanket.
Or a hat.
Yeah. If I can get it all charted out for Emma, maybe she'll be experienced enough that she could make my sample for me, and that would be wonderful. Yeah, so the more experienced Emma gets, she will probably start doing a lot. She is very fast. If you watch her here, she is very, very quick. Even though she's a beginner, she's a very fast crocheter. So yeah, it's just practice. And that's what I told her. Like, I've probably been crocheting every day with hardly a day off for the last like 7 years or something. So when you crochet all the time, a lot, you just get really, Emma will come over and admire my stitch work. And she's like, it's so perfect, Mom. And I'm like, well, it's just what happens when you crochet every day for years. You just get better and better at it. Okay, Dawn is working on the bulky Mosaic hat right now. It's such a pretty pattern. The yarn that one's done in is so pretty. I probably have one here I can show you. Come back to my happy stash. I just hope I don't bring the whole pile down when I try to like take yarn from it. So this is the yarn I used for that Mosaic, and it's so pretty. It's the Chroma Bulky Twist, I think it's called. Oh my goodness, I use so many yarns, sometimes you start forgetting the names of them all. But this is from We Crochet, and it's an absolute, I'm pretty sure it's the Chroma Twist Bulky, and it's just beautiful. I definitely need to make something else with that yarn because it has the prettiest colors. Okay, We'll keep going through. Rhonda is from Texas. I have just one WIP right now. That's amazing. Working on the Movalist Duster cardigan as a Christmas gift. Almost finished. Ready to start the I can't even read now. Mittens and stockings. Excited to start them. Yes, the Movalist Duster is a big project. That's definitely one you want to just work away on. I remember designing that pattern, and it did take me a while. I mean, I was working on it amongst many things, but it was like I did it so long. It was a time-consuming project, sort of like the Waffleicious Duster. It was a time-consuming pattern for me as well. But when I have a really drawn-out project like that, I do sometimes, because I'm so busy with my work, I have to kind of just fit it in. It's a longer project. But if I could have just gone right at that and not had to work on anything else, it probably wouldn't have taken me that long. But yes, you're gonna have to make a cardigan, Emma. Yeah, we'll have to get into that. That kind of scares me. Yeah, I know. And cardigans can seem scary, but they're not really as scary as you think. Again, it's just trying.
Just like the Mosaic.
Just like the Mosaic. You thought the Mosaic was going to be scary, and then look, you're doing amazing. And she just started this, I don't know, a couple days ago?
Yeah.
And you already made the back panel.
Yeah.
Yeah, she already made the back panel, and she's just been working on it, and she's going to have it done soon. And she managed to score pillow form from me too, because she was looking at them online going, oh, there's so much money, Mom. And I'm like, oh, no, just get them from Amazon. I actually had a box that I hadn't even opened that had a pack of 2 20 by 20s. Mm-hmm. So she scored a pillow form. Oh, and what yarn are you using, Emma?
What yarn? Oh, I'm just using Bernat Super Value.
She's using Bernat Super Value.
That guy.
Yeah, she was going through my yarn. She was shopping. Emma shops in Mommy's yarn stash. That's how she finds her yarn. She's like, but what yarn am I allowed to use, Mom? She found. So I have a bunch of Bernat Super Value that she's been kind of going through. All of the colors aren't that great, but this one's coming out really nice.
I know, these ones are actually like the clay and the white. It actually looks pretty nice together.
Yeah, the clay and the white, it's going to look really good, and it's going to be a nice neutral. So it will go. Are you thinking your bedroom or family room?
The bedroom, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But then Jacob likes it for the living room because the pillow's really comfy, the form.
Okay.
On the couch.
And someone was asking, I could have already answered this question, but Emma's working on the surf side mosaic pillow. It reminded me the pattern of little surfboards, so that's how that one got its name. It's the surf side. Yeah. Okay, so freezing in Arizona is the 40s at night. So yeah, that is pretty cold. I should convert that to what that is. And yeah, what is 40 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius? Yeah, so that is about 4 or 5. So yeah, that's pretty cold. That's pretty cold. That's good. Yeah. That's a good sleep at night temperature. I like it cold at night. It's my age, but yeah, I like it cold. Okay, so I'm just going to keep going through, make sure I get to all of your questions and comments tonight. I know this is the 4th pattern, so we've talked already so much about all of the stockings, but if you have any questions, hopefully everybody with the YouTube videos that you're able to work through the patterns, no problem. Sacramento, California, and I'm working on 5 things right now, 2 blankets, my first cardigan, and a baby blanket, and I started this calendar. That's great. That's a good, I think 5's a good number, right? Yeah. Having a couple blankets will take, and it all depends how much time you have as well to work on those things. But if there's no rush, you'll have to get working on the calendar quickly, though, to make sure you get it done. Let's see what Furls is. So I'm trying to get hook cases holders, but Furls is sold out of a lot of them. I have way too many hooks to get the case. I would need about 5 or 6 of the. Yes, and I have, how many do I have? I think I have 3 leather cases for different sets. I have their collector box, but they're all sold out of those as well. But you can look for pen boxes on Amazon for storing your hooks, and you can get 3-tiered ones. So they have lots of drawers. I think I'm thinking of actually ordering another one because my hook collection is getting a little bit out of hand. So I think I do need to order another case. So look for pen boxes. If you search, then you'll come up with some ideas for storing them. It's nice to display them nicely too, other than just like, obviously, hook, like pencil type cases and stuff, you can put them in, but it is nice to be able to see them and lay them out in size so you can find them a little bit quicker. I mean, these hooks are all labeled. I really get frustrated with the ones that aren't labeled, and I have to use my measuring tool to measure them to see what size.
Measuring tool?
Yes, it should be around here somewhere. It has little holes, and then you stick the hook through to see what size it is. Yeah, but those ones are, I like it when they're labeled because, of course, we always misplace these things and then can't find them when you need it. Yep, 65 degrees right now, but in the morning 40s. Yeah, so yep, so it's getting cool. It's getting cool most places now, but it's almost December, but I just keep thinking spring is really just around the corner, right? It won't be, the time will just fly and we'll be back into spring again. I think this time of year, what I struggle the most with is the darkness. That's what really, I wouldn't mind winter so much if it wasn't for it getting dark by like 4:30. That is the worst. Oh, I don't know if that's the way it is everywhere, like, or if it's just mainly, how north you are, but the dark nights are really, really tough. Okay. I'm just going to keep going through all of your questions and make sure I don't miss anything. Oh, well, that's a great idea. So Sandy's going to gift hers, which is a great idea. So let's see here. You can find them on eBay too, the numbers, but shipping is slow from China and much cheaper. So you might want to order for next year. I know some people have been thinking this year it's a little bit too tight, but even if you order your numbers off season and then get a head start, even in the summer is a good time to start crocheting up stuff for Christmas. So, and definitely like I find May, like April, May, June, things are really slow. So if you're thinking of what you want to make for Christmas, get all your stuff ordered ahead of time, and then you won't have, especially if you're ordering where it's slow shipping, you can get some things really cheap if you're willing to wait. Okay, here's a question. If I try these patterns in worsted weight, will they come out proportionate and just bigger? Would be cute gift toppers to use up scraps. Yes, you can use the worsted. They may just come out a little bit bigger, but they'll still stay proportioned. They'll just be a little bit larger size. And some of your light worsteds are going to be very similar to this DK weight anyways. So like Wool of the Andes worsted would be very similar to this. And yeah, if you have bits of scrap, this is perfect for using up scraps because you're just using such a small amount. And I would just use what you have, use your scraps. I mean, and then when you're doing the striped patterns, you're using 2 colors. So it's such a tiny little bit of yarn for each one, and they will make great gift toppers. Even having your advent calendar a little bigger is okay. You'll just be able to fit more treats inside the stockings and mittens. So that's okay too, right, Em? I know the kids like that. So I started making my calendar this weekend. My cuffs are coming out wider than expected. Am I just doing the back loops too loose? So yes, this is something we have talked about. You could use a smaller hook size for the band. I always tend to crochet my bands really tight. So
yeah, I went down a hook size and then my band was okay.
Yeah, Emma went down a hook size and many other people did that as well. And what I even did when I was weaving my tail, I just pulled it a little bit tighter just to kind of give it a little bit more cinched look as well. But yeah, just drop your hook size on the bands and then that will, and I noticed someone else too made their cuff even a little bit longer so it could fold over a little bit more.
Yeah, I saw that too. It was a neat idea.
Yeah, which is something you could do as well. That's what's great about the group. Everyone posts their ideas and it's always great to see what everybody's doing and what tricks they're doing to make the patterns even better. Okay, so here's another question. Are the patterns free on the blog? Each day you release them and only that day. I just got all my yarn today, so now looking for the patterns. They are going to stay on the blog forever. You can view them whenever you want. So they're not going away. They'll stay free on the blog. So this is just their actual release day that I'm releasing them, but then they'll be there even for next year when you want to make these. You just need to sign up when you scroll, and I posted a little video for help, and Emma's going to make sure she embeds those on the blog post. So if anyone's struggling with viewing the patterns, you sign up for free to unlock. The pattern will be blocked out. You sign up and then the pattern appears and you can view it no problem. So it's just a matter of signing up. And if you go to mjsoffthehookdesigns.com and go to my contact page, I have instructions on how to do that, and also a link to a video I posted on TikTok today showing you exactly how to do it if you're struggling. I need to have a drink because my throat is so dry. So yeah, so I posted that it's also in the Facebook group. So I posted the videos in the Facebook group. I think what is been the confusing thing for most people is my blog has a shop. So I have video tutorials on my blog. I used to sell kits, but I'm weaning the shop out and I'm having my website redesigned in December. So there is the shop. You'll see a little cart shop at the top of my blog. So people have been trying to sign in there, which is not where you're to sign in. That's only if you've purchased something or purchased a course on my site. So the actual subscribe for the blog is on the blog post when you scroll down and the exclusive content box comes up. And Grow is a really handy feature to have on my blog. So over to the right hand side, you'll see a little teal heart with little dotted arrows. You click on that, the heart will actually bookmark the blog post for you. So if, let's say, you want to save all of the crochet along patterns, you can bookmark them. So then when you go and you can just click on that and then all of your bookmarked pages come up. So it's just easy reference to your favorite blog posts on my site. You can also search. It has a search feature. So again, you click on those little dotted lines underneath the teal heart and the search is there. So if you're looking for hats on my blog, you're looking for plaid things on my blog, you can search any search term you want, and then all of the blog posts relevant to that will come up. And it also allows you to access your account in that location. So you can log out, you can change your password, you can get a tour with Grow so you can see how it functions and works. So it is a handy tool for the website. It does make it a little bit user-friendly, but when my blog is redesigned in December, hopefully it will be even more user-friendly. Yeah. So, and if you have any questions about that, like I say, go to mjsoffthehookdesigns.com, go to the contact at the top, and I have all my frequently asked questions there. Now a little video to show you if you're struggling or need help with that. Okay, and Sherry says, yay, welcome again, Emma. Yeah, she's going to be joining me hopefully on most of my lives. I can get her over here. Okay, so here's another question. I'm just trying to scroll through and just make sure I don't miss anything. If you have a question, please pop it in the comments. I'm going to get through all of them before we close off for the night. So I've had trouble with the puff stitch mittens coming out larger than the other mittens I made. Have had to drop the last row of puffs to make them similar. Don't know how I could have made the puffs any smaller. I guess that the puff stitch can be a little bit tricky because we're trying to crochet it loose so we can get those loops through, and the puff is just obviously going to puff out bigger than our textured mitten. So I mean, mine aren't a huge difference, but there is a difference. Okay, so my puff one is bigger. I didn't really worry that they were exactly the same. I just wanted them a similar size. So the puff stitch is going to come out a little bit bigger. Plus, because you might be trying to make that puff stitch loose, your puffs could even end up being bigger again. So maybe dropping a hook size, yeah, would help. Maybe trying to tighten up the puff a little bit, but you don't want to tighten it up too much that you're struggling, because then it won't be fun at all. So yeah, they come out slightly bigger, but it ended up like mine weren't drastic and that didn't bother me. But yes, reducing it around, that would probably fix the difference quite easily. Will your plaid project be out before January 1st? Cardigan. Okay, so I don't have a plaid cardigan coming. I do have a mosaic cardigan coming, but that will definitely be the new year. That project is going to be probably time consuming for me. So I can't, I'm started working on it. I'm working on the back right now, and I'm going to get started into my mosaic pattern, but I still need to get all my yarn ordered for it. And it is going to be a bit of a time consuming project because I have to work it in amongst other things. So probably not by January 1st. I do have a plaid project coming out probably next week. I don't have for sure my release date, but that's the pattern that we were working on today. So I have a new plaid hat pattern coming out, which I'm very excited about. So that should be next week. But cardigans this year, I am hoping to get my men's cardigan out before the end of the year. And that probably will be my only other garment. Garments do take me longer to design. And I've been focused a lot more on Christmas, gift giving projects, more smaller items that are quicker to work up. The cardigans definitely are more time consuming, and more time consuming for me to design as well and make sure I get all the sizes. And this new one that I'm working on will have size 1. So like your child toddler size 1 to size 12, and then I'll have the adult pattern from an extra small to a 5X. So lots of sizes, lots of work ahead of me if I'm going to get that done by the end of the year. But I'm going to try, like I always do. I try, right, Emma?
Yes.
Okay, so I can't believe you have a daughter at that old. You must be so happy she's loving crochet. Yes, I do. So Emma is 20.
Wow.
I'm 43. So I had her when I was 23. So I was young when I had her, and yeah. And she's, grown up really quick. I can't believe she's 22. So my children are 20. My next daughter is 17. She'll be 18 in February, which is crazy. My son is 15. He's going to be 16 in May. So he's really excited to start driving. That's, the big thing right now in our house. He's going to be getting his license in May. And then my youngest, Megan, is 11, which I can't even believe. If you've been following me for a long time, you've watched my kids basically grow up. Megan, I started crocheting when she was just about 1.5, and she was my little model from day one. She was so photogenic and loved to smile, and now she's 11. I can't believe it. It's crazy. Emma's done a lot of modeling over the years for me too. Emma modeled probably our most viral pattern, actually, the owl blanket. Yes. So if you remember the owl blanket, the hooded owl blanket, Emma is my model in that picture. And that went so crazy viral. It had 40 million views on my Facebook page. But then so many other businesses shared it as well, and it went viral on all of their pages too. So Yeah, Emma was the model for that. So she's all over the place. Her picture's been stolen so many times by companies saying that they're selling that owl blanket, but that's not what you're getting when you order it. You're getting something like from China does not look anything like the handmade owl blanket. But yeah, that's what happens. As soon as something gets really popular, those pictures end up everywhere. And I do have an update for that pattern, thinking about it, that needs to get out. An update is coming for that pattern. It's only the original pattern was that bulky and quick 2 strands of super bulky yarn with the Q hook. So I have redesigned it to use only 1 strand because I know some people just don't like it eating up all of that yarn. So I have an update coming. It's just, again, it's one of the things on the list. But now Emma's working with me. We're going to start being able to be even more productive. So she's already gone through a couple of my patterns that need updated. And it's just, I have to go do finishing touches, which I'm so busy. It's hard to even get to those. But we're going to try to get a lot of patterns updated, patterns that are like with yarns that are discontinued, we can't go back and redo everything, but certain ones that are really popular, I think it's worth giving them a little refresh. And yeah. So yeah. And now I have Emma to help me with it. So she's really getting familiar with Canva. So someone says, I want to try Mosaic, but it truly intimidates me. Well, just go ahead and try it. Just take it from Emma. She's a newbie here.
I've never even changed color while crocheting something.
She's never changed color. There you go. She has never changed color in crochet before. And here she is making a beautiful mosaic pillow. So there's your...
I can do singles, doubles, half doubles, and like the triples.
Yeah, you can do a treble.
I remember those. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah. So there you go. She only knows...
And the shell. That's the only stitches I can do.
Which a shell uses single and double.
Yeah.
So Emma's only really done single, double, half double, and the puff frustrated her. So, so there you go. And here she is making a beautiful mosaic pillow. So try it. Yeah. And someone else said to watch the videos. And that's what I love about doing video tutorials for everyone, is that I love to show you, because I honestly don't like super tricky, super hard either. And usually if it's too tricky or complicated or time consuming, I'll just, throw it aside. So I like to try to give you patterns that look beautiful, that you think are super hard and complicated, but they're actually really fun and easy to work up, and you can do it while watching TV, right? Because I like to crochet and relax at night. I like to relax, watch TV, enjoy my crochet time. So not that I never try something more, and sometimes I feel like it's more complicated for me writing the pattern than the actual pattern is. So some patterns can be really advanced to write, but actually crocheting them is very easy. So, okay, I'm just going to keep going through, make sure I don't miss any of your questions before it's almost 9 o'clock. So we'll have to go soon. Okay, I want to make sure though, if you have anything, I'm always intimidated with hats because of sizing, especially of gifting or sizing. What do you do? The length, the circumference, no confidence. So yes, when you're gifting them, it can be tricky if you don't know the head size. If you're comfortable, if it's family and you're comfortable asking, can you measure your child? What's their head size? That is probably the best way to know that the hat is going to fit, or, go big, if anything, right? Because then it's going to probably fit somebody. But heads are just so, like, people, they're sort of like your average, and I size them based on, this is, a 6 to 12 month. This is a toddler. So that would be sort of like your average. But of course, everybody does not fall into average. Some people have really big heads. Some people have really small heads. So I remember doing hats for my cousins, and they had really small heads. Like, they had child size heads, and I would never have thought, even just like looking at them, seeing them, that they had child-size heads, but that happens. So an adult can have a child-size head, or a child can have a really big adult-size head. So if you can measure, like get a measurement for who you're making it for, that's the best thing. If not, maybe go up. For most children, I would make an adult size. It's only if they're like a small petite child, usually, that they're going to fit into like a smaller, or if you just know, like by looking at them, you know, what roughly do they look like, they have a big head or a small head. But I always give, especially in my newer patterns, I'm really specific, like what the circumference is, what the measurement, what the head height, all of that stuff. And so gauge, of course, is going to be important. You want to check your gauge. You want to make sure you're doing those gauge swatches. I'm pretty detailed in my video. Like I'll measure. So a lot of my hats, I do go from the bottom up. I just really like making a band first, because it really does tell you if it's going to fit around your head. So the band, what you can do is you make your band, and you know, you can put it around your head and you know if it's going to fit. And a lot of them I do the ribbing, like a single crochet in the back loop only. So it's going to be very stretchy. So it's going to seem really small when you measure it out, but it's going to stretch to fit, because if you make it bigger, you're going to get that stretched out band that's not going to look nice once it's been worn. So you want to make sure that the band will stretch out to fit the head, but that if you make it too big, then you're going to have a sloppy hat after the fact. And then I usually always size down on that band and then size up when I do the body. So a good place to start is do your band, check your gauge. I will usually give you that ribbing gauge, and see where you're at. Just change your hook size. Don't be concerned if you have to change 2 hook sizes to make gauge. It doesn't matter. As long as you can meet the gauge for the pattern, then you're going to be on track. And most likely, if you get the gauge pattern for the ribbing, you just need to then go up a hook size, whatever hook size you've used, to do the body section. And yeah, that's some of my hats are worked from the top down, but a lot of them I do the band, because I find it just easy for myself designing as well to size it that way. I make sure the band fits well, and then I go from there. Let's keep going. That is a really great idea. I always write on the inside of the label hook size, yarn balls, person in tutorial, etc. for my whips. That's a really good idea. There's nothing worse than going back to your whip and completely forgetting what hook size you used. What hook is always a good idea to know too, what brand, because, and Emma's already discovered this, the gauge is different between a streamline swirl and an Odyssey. So if you're switching your hooks, your gauge can change as well. So if you used a Boy, or you used a Susan Bates, or you used a Furl Streamline or an Odyssey, write that down too. Okay, so maybe we'll just briefly touch on gauge a little bit more. So I've been working on Emma with that too, because she wasn't sure as well how to do a gauge swatch, and you want to go more stitches. So if the gauge, for instance, a ribbing could be quite often a single crochet ribbing, you're going to have your stitches and your rows are going to be about the same. So let's say it's 8 stitches and 8 rows and 2 inches. Okay, that's a common gauge. So you would not want to just do 8 stitches and 8 rows. You want to go bigger. So you would want to go like quite a few more stitches than 8, because like maybe even 12 or 15 or 16, because you're going to measure in between. You never want to measure the first and last stitch. And then Emma's like, oh, do I have to do that many rows, Mom? You know.
It was frustrating because it was like 18 rows.
18.
Like, that's a waste. I want to start the pillow.
I know. She just wanted to start it.
But if I didn't, it would have been like way huger.
Yeah. So, and I told her that the rows, sometimes the rows aren't as important, because you can kind of fiddle with your rows. But if you look on the back of this mosaic, for instance, we know every other row is a different color. So it's really easy to count your rows. Where if you try to do your gauge on that side, it'll be so confusing. So you can measure. she could measure out how many rows here she has in 4 inches, but I always take the center of my project. So it's good to work, because even like she had started out with her chain, I'm like, never measure your chain. You want to at least get a few rows in, because tension and stuff tends to change as you get crocheting. So you want to do a gauge swatch. You want it to be bigger, more rows, more stitches, and then you're going to measure in here. And like I say, with the Mosaic, it's super easy because of the alternating colors on the back. So it's really easy to count those rows. So yes, I know it's a tedious thing to do, to tell you to do those gauge swatches, but it's certainly, and I told Emma it was important for the pillow because she needed to make sure it was going to fit properly, the pillow form. So I said, if it's a bit smaller, that was okay, because you want it a tight fit. So like if you're using a 20-inch pillow form, it would be okay if it was only 18 by 18, because it's going to stretch, right? You're going to get some stretch to the fabric, and you want it to be nice and tight on the pillow. So yeah, so for this pattern also, gauge was important. Hats, they're important. Garments, they're important. And yarn can make such a difference. I think I had some comments this week about their hats always coming out bigger than my pattern. And it was most likely due to the yarn, because the yarn I was using would crochet up quite small. And then if you're using like a heavier worsted or another yarn brand, it could crochet up bigger. And I mean, at the end of the day, that's okay if you just have to fiddle around with, okay, my child's really an adult size, you know, that's okay, as long as you know how the sizing works out. But yeah, if you're switching yarns, it definitely, you know, again, make sure you're meeting the pattern gauge if you want things to fit. So I have someone else here. My daughter-in-law shops in my stash. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Well, I have a pretty big stash to work from, so I don't mind so much. I don't mind so much. Yeah, there's lots of yarn that needs to get. I gifted a lot of yarn, and yeah, I got rid of a lot of yarn. So I don't have as much as I used to have, but I still have quite a bit. So I think, oh my goodness, I think oh no, I'm not done. I thought I was done through the questions, but I'm not. I talk too much. Okay. Yep, so we're talking about temperature. I'm just going to scroll through your comments, make sure I just don't miss any questions. Someone else, Sherry's off, gotta go. Yep, someone else hates the dark nights too. I have someone, Kathy here, is in Niagara. She just got tons of snow. Yeah, we got tons of snow. So do you mean pen boxes by the way of clear pencil boxes? I'm only finding single pen boxes, some clear, some that are, no, they're quite big. So the pen boxes are like, you know, they lift up, they have all of those spaces to put the hooks in. Okay, I'm gonna try and scroll quickly. Yes, try Mosaic crochet. And so Emma's doing the overlay. I also have done a couple inset Mosaic patterns that have no tails at all, and it's absolutely amazing. It's probably my new obsession, because you work your one row and then work your row back, and then you carry your tails up the side, so you don't have even any of
these tails are pretty intimidating.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to weave all of these.
No, you just,
how does it,
they're gonna get hidden inside the pillow. You're going to just trim them. You're gonna slip stitch around this, and then you're just gonna hide those inside the pillow. You'll watch all of that in the video. Yes. And someone said, is that your sister? Nope, it's my daughter. It's my oldest. My sweetheart. Okay. Is it hard to crochet the Mosaic pillow? Nope. It's very easy. Right, Emma?
Yeah.
Emma will tell you it's very easy. It's just a square. It is
really easy.
And it's a great project to start out with Mosaic crochet when you're learning, for sure. A pillow is a great, because the blankets are very time consuming. I think someone just posted one in the today that they started last summer, and they just finished it.
Wow.
but it was probably like, she probably didn't have lots of time to spend on it. You can certainly make them quicker than that, but yeah, the blankets are, I have got some sample helpers making some of my blankets just because I really don't have the time. So I'm hoping Emma can start being a sample maker for me once she gets more experience. So, okay, I'm glad that I answered the hat question well. This question here, I don't have a video to write a pattern. It really, I mean, it's been a lot of experience and a lot of trial and error and a lot of learning. I started working with a tech editor several years ago, and she really helped to guide me as well and correct my patterns to be more technical. So no, I don't have anything about teaching how to do it. It's really been kind of my own learning process for learning to design, and I guess just my love as well for crocheting and practicing. But yeah, it's just a process. It's a process to learn, and definitely having math skill is very important as well. Math was always one of my best subjects in school. So I have that math background because patterns require a lot of math, and a lot of it is just equations and math to figure out different sizing. Like once you're confident with one size, then it's the math. I use a helpful tip, I guess, Yarn Standards. You can go to yarnstandards.com, and they have all of there's like a PDF download, and it gives you all your standard sizing for your men, women, child, baby. It gives you all kinds of information. So that's a good, useful resource that you can go just to get information to help you. And here too, I've definitely done the sloppy hat in my efforts. Yes. Okay. Our Christmas stockings. I do have 2 Christmas stocking patterns coming out this year still. Hopefully, I have some already in my Etsy shop, in my Ravelry shop, that are very popular. You can go check out the ones that are already. The bobble stocking as well as the cable stocking, they do have video tutorials on my YouTube channel, but I do have 2 new ones coming out. So hopefully I have a mosaic stocking as well as a puff. So those will be coming hopefully soon. They're very quick make, so it shouldn't take me long to get them ready for everyone. Okay. I think I have gotten through all the comments. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. Emma and I are getting tired. We're going to call it a night now, and everyone else I'm sure is too. So thanks so much for joining the Crochet Along. And again, you can go to my Etsy shop or Ravelry and purchase the ebook. Right now it's 20% off. Use the code CYBER20 on Ravelry. Or if you go to Etsy, no coupon is required at all, and you can get 20% off all my patterns. Or you can head over to the blog. You can search. I have a heading right on the right-hand side. If you go to the blog for Christmas patterns, you can find all of the Christmas patterns there. Or you can search through the Grow app as well to find everything you're looking for. And of course, on my YouTube channel, you can go and there's playlists categorized as well: garments, hats, Christmas patterns. So you can find everything there. The Crochet Along is going to go till the 30th. So we have 2 more patterns to come. So is that right? Yes, that's right. So Thursday and Monday will be the next I'm all of a sudden confused. So yeah, this Thursday and next Monday, and then it will give you some time just to finish up that last pattern before December 1st starts. So thanks again for joining me, everyone. Have a great night, and we will see you. Oh, and happy Thanksgiving. Yes, so because it's going to be Thanksgiving in the States. We already had our Thanksgiving, so I forget that sometimes. But Black Friday, yes, is this Friday. So Thursday, I believe is their Thanksgiving. I'm still going to go live. So we will go live again on Thursday with the next release. So everyone have a good night.